If you're into karate, 80s films, and binge-watching Netflix, you've probably seen Cobra Kai. The show is a huge success, and it deserves all the love it gets. But some things about Cobra Kai are just weird. In this video, let's discuss things about the show that just don't make sense. One thing about it that really doesn't add up: how do people just get away with beating each other up in public? Naturally, in a show about martial arts, you have to expect some action. I mean, that's what we signed up for, but the weird part is, the fight scenes don't just happen in the ring or under the eye of a referee. Countless times in Cobra Kai, we've seen people get beaten to a pulp, and that's basically the end of it. Of course, there was that one time when Johnny got arrested for beating up teens. But that was only once. Besides that, we've seen a bunch of fights break out in public, and the police never get involved. So what? Teenagers are just allowed to physically fight in public now? Do they have a kung fu pass? What's even weirder is that none of these fights ever make the news. You'd think kids having major kung fu matches around town would alert the media, but not in the world of Cobra Kai. Speaking of things that don't add up, how does Johnny never go totally broke? Where does all the money come from? Johnny Lawrence, the villain from the original Karate Kid and the protagonist of Cobra Kai, is shown to be down on his luck from the very first episode.
I'm not hustling. I'm not homeless. That's my car.
The whole first season focuses on his financial situation. In the pilot, he loses his job as a handyman for fighting with a customer. He's also deeply indebted to his stepfather, who finances his dojo. Johnny's fortunes improve when Cobra Kai gains popularity, giving him a steady income and stability. Here's the thing though, Johnny doesn't remain in charge of Cobra Kai throughout the show. At the end of season 2, Kreese removes him from the dojo, and in season 4, it merges with the non-charging Miyagi Dojo. Despite losing his only source of income, Johnny is never shown to be struggling financially, nor is it shown how he continues to support himself. So where's all the money coming from? I understand that sometimes TV shows can miss out on tiny details, but there are major question marks in this one. For instance, how is Kreese able to defend Johnny and Daniel? Between the second and fourth seasons, John Kreese is the most prominent villain of the show. He wants to return the dojo to its brutal ways and takes a stand against the snowflake generation. Yes, he's cunning, highly skilled, and manipulative, but he's also over 70 years old in Cobra Kai, which means he's not exactly at his peak right now. I get that skill is very important. We've seen Mr. Miyagi prove time and time again that old people can kick ass too. But how can someone be so good they take on Johnny and Daniel at 70? Yes, at the end of season 3, Kreese fights the highly skilled Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso back to back. He defeats Johnny and even threatens to kill Daniel. Seriously, what does this man eat for breakfast? To have such skill and strength at 70 is pretty unbelievable. And this isn't the only thing about Kreese that doesn't make sense. His entire character is just a bit strange. His backstory did help clear a few things up and answered a few questions fans had, but many still don't understand why he is the way he is. He seems way angrier and brutal than he needs to be. Like, for real, why is he going as far as trying to kill people? And that's not the only question fans have. How did he just swoop in and take over Cobra Kai? Is he running it illegally? And why does he have it out for Daniel and Johnny so badly? Yes, Kreese is a very hot-headed character, but even he should have moved on by now, right? It's been 30 years, for God's sakes. The character doesn't seem to have any redeeming qualities except for the occasional sweet spot he has for Johnny, and we're not sure if that's to keep the mystery alive or if it's just lazy writing. Well, the writers of Cobra Kai might be lazy, but the characters sure aren't. In fact, they might be a bit too active, and it doesn't make sense. Seriously, how is everyone getting black belts so easily? Sure, despite what many people believe, a black belt doesn't mean you're a master of martial arts. It just means you've got the basics down, and you're a competent fighter. But still, getting a black belt is no piece of cake. Even if you train extensively, it takes years to get one. But apparently, the characters of Cobra Kai just aren't doing it like us normal folk. Seasons of the show usually cover months at a time, but that time frame is still too short to get a black belt. Not for these guys though. Nearly all the characters who begin training in the first season has a black belt and the skills that come with it by the season's climax at the All Valley tournament. Guess there are benefits of training with stars of the Karate Kid. And speaking of the Karate Kid himself, how is Daniel so damn rich? He is a successful businessman with a local car dealership that's thriving, but still, it's kinda weird that he never seems to run out of money, right? Here's why I think Daniel has basically unlimited financial resources. He's a member at an expensive comedy club. He's able to open his own dojo and charge nothing for it. He's even willing to pay triple rent for Cobra Kai to save it from Kreese. Guys, is Daniel secretly Elon Musk? And that isn't even the half of it. Daniel is a big spender, y'all. Remember when he booked a trip to Japan on a total whim? All of this on top of the mortgage of a huge house and Sam's medical bills? And don't forget all the broken glass and furniture at the house and the dojo. Somebody's gotta be repairing those, right? The show never explains how or when Daniel becomes so rich, but we're free to speculate, I guess. Not only is Daniel apparently mega rich, he also seems to be pretty reckless with his money. Seriously, this much trust in Kreese and Silver will leave him bankrupt. In Season 4, Daniel and Johnny bet with our resident villains to end the gang violence of the third season. They bet on the result of the next All Valley Karate Championship. If Daniel and Johnny win, they retire. If they lose, they close up shop for good. Here's the question: why are they taking the bet so seriously, knowing full well what Kreese and Silver are like? They're not on your side, guys. Zabka and Machio's characters seem to really believe the bet will be upheld. They even recruit Chosen Taguchi to teach at their dojos in their place. Even weirder, why do they expect Kreese and Silver to stay true to their word if they lose? Are these guys crazy? They've broken agreements thousands of times, and Silver even assaulted Johnny. Clearly, there's a bunch of stuff in Cobra Kai that doesn't make any sense. Fans have a bunch of questions they want to be answered, but regardless, we love the show and can't stop watching it. Let's hope the coming seasons clear up some of these things, because I don't know about you, but they really frustrate me.